Let's get physical. It's Jordan here, back in with this week's update and all the physical releases coming to the Switch, October the 30th until November the 2nd. Let's see what we've got. Fashion Dreamer is releasing this week, and I believe it's the latest game in the Style Boutique series in everything but actual name. That is a Nintendo name, and maybe Nintendo didn't want to publish this, so hey, let's call it something else. Now, believe it or not, I am not an expert in this series. However, I am reliably told by those who aren't a walking fashion disaster like myself that these games are actually pretty awesome, even for those who are more interested in walking the plank than walking the catwalk. Sorry, I couldn't think of another saying involving walking. But yeah, learn how to dress stylishly. I also applaud that Marvelous Europe are really taking the style seriously, because their European and Aussie box arts, they have integrated the age rating into the boxes. They managed to make USK look good. Round of applause, everyone, round of applause. And our executive producer, Alexander Cato, has chosen this as his pick of the week. And if you want this or any of the retail releases in this episode, then please consider using the links in the description. You can purchase from VGP, and that is a fantastic way to support us because they have good prices in cheap Canadian money, they have cheap shipping, especially to the US, and even free shipping if you purchase over 80 Canadian bucks, and they dispatch things in shipping boxes. Yes, no more bubble mailers anywhere. Everything you buy will ship in a box. So yes, they have lots of great stuff there, and they are my preferred way to pick up retail releases. Plus, if you purchase something via our link, then each week you can be in with the chance of winning a $10 discount coupon. Yes, and this week's winner is Martin P. Congratulations, Martin. You will get an email from VGP very soon. And yeah, thank you for your support. Star Ocean, the second story R, is releasing this week and is one of the most hotly anticipated JRPGs, a remake of Star Ocean 2, which I think is the second remake this game has had, which I think that's the series in a nutshell. They've remade and remastered these games more than there are actual games in the series. Unlike the remake of the first game, which had chunky, lovely PSP visuals, this has gone for 2D HD because of course they have, and it looks great. Although it's maybe the one time I'd prefer not to have this style, but why am I complaining? This is going to be great. Just please give me a physical of the first game. Come on, Asia, come to the rescue. Now, there are rumors and pictures circulating around that there is a download required for this physical release, and it's a 3 GB download for additional languages. So I assume voice acting takes up a lot of space, maybe English voices or other European voices needed to be downloaded or something like that, which isn't the end of the world if that's the case, at least for me. And our executive producers, Issa, Thorn Metal Luna, Feig, God of Resin, Robotech, and Parsnip Coffee have chosen this as their pick of the week. My Time at Sandrock is the sequel to My Time at Portia, and I think it's releasing this week. Some places say yes, some places say no. Either way, it's interesting to see that the North American version has download required stamped on the front of the box, whereas it seems the European and Japanese versions don't say that. I do wonder if it's just for the bonus DLC content or something more annoying. We'll have to see. My Time at Portia was one of the earlier live sims available on the Switch before the coziness got overwhelming. It wasn't great, but it was fine, and according to Steam Early Access, this is a step up. So yeah, let's see. And our executive producer, Vei, our man in Japan, has chosen this as his pick of the week. Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, The Hidden Treasures of Area Zero bundle is releasing this week. Again, another one with download required stamped on the box. What's going on this week? What is going on? Is there some sort of like new North American policy for Nintendo? I don't know, but this definitely has a download required, like 100%. This is 2 separate releases containing the base game and the DLC expansions, of which half of it isn't on the cartridge because they haven't finished it yet, but they gotta get this out in time for Christmas. So yeah, I bought the base game for my daughter last Christmas and she kind of got bored with it quickly compared to other Pokemon games that she's played. We have like 100 hours on Pokemon Shining Pearl and I think about 10 on this one. So yeah, our executive producer JCross7776 has chosen this as his pick of the week. Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed is releasing in North America this week, I believe, just in time for Halloween. It looks like Europe is going to be arriving a bit stale in a few weeks' time. Or maybe that's just an analogy for the franchise. Too little, too late. But it's fine because we had one good movie and one good video game, and that's all one needs in life. And this one is an asymmetrical 4v1 multiplayer game where Dan Aykroyd is cosplaying a bloated Yakuza dude. I don't know if there's any single player content in here, I hope there is. And our executive producers Punky Dooster and Cartoon Soren have chosen this as their pick of the week. 30 sports game in one is more cheap minigame crappage from Just for Games. They farted out similar releases of these in the past, and this one is entirely focused on sports. Oh yes, it's releasing in Europe this week, North America probably a bit later, not that you'll care. WarioWare Move It is the latest WarioWare micro game mini compilation, only this time they've gone extra gimmicky with the Joy-Cons. I'm sure this is going to be a lot of fun as long as you're not a miserable git like myself. You know, it's for people who are fun at parties, not just stand in the corner judging people's stupidity as I down my 10th Disaronno of the night. Yeah, that was me. Something kind of tells me this was made way earlier in the Switch's life, you know, when 1-2 Switch was around, but I think they held it back because it's essentially just the same thing, but with less cringe. Pretend you're a duck or something like that. I know executive producers Boombox and Jennifer M have chosen this as their pick of the week. The Smurfs 2, The Prisoner of Greenstone. Look, I've been alive 33 years at this point, and while I may not have given as much attention to the Smurfs as one should, because I'm not Belgian, I'm pretty shocked to hear that we've only got up to number 2. Number 2? They must have been milking Smurfs 1 dry for half a century. Even Limited Run wouldn't milk something that long. It's releasing in Europe this week, North America in the near future. It's microids, that's always the case. DreamWorks All-Star Kart Racing is kart racing, it's B-tier franchise, you know what that means, it's a game from Game Mill, quickly getting a reputation for putting out broken, barely functioning games. I was actually mildly interested in learning about the company, and this is gonna blow your mind, ladies and gentlemen. Game Mill was founded by 4 executives from Activision. I am shocked, I tell you. Who'd have thought Activision executives wouldn't care about anything other than money? God. Jumanji Wild Adventures is the latest game from Outright Games, who, when it comes to cheap, quickly licensed tie-ins, these guys are angels in comparison to Game Mill. This looks like a simple action-adventure beat-em-up for kids. RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures Deluxe. Your memory does not deceive you. Yes, RollerCoaster Tycoon Adventures is already available physically on the Nintendo Switch, but this is the Deluxe Edition, which means it's more smooth and silky and tastes like chocolate, and you can use it as shampoo. That's why they always stick the word deluxe on those things, right? Or am I just wasting my precious English chocolate by rubbing it on my head? I don't know. This includes 18 new rides and attractions, including seasonally themed ones. There is a user interface upgrade and new terrain types. Ooh yeah, get ready for some roller coasters on the desert. I am quite tempted, I've got to be honest, and our executive producer Brent McLean has chosen this as his pick of the week. Alright, the low print releases. Have a Nice Death is Pixel Love's latest Switch pre-order. This is going to be available at retail in its standard edition later down the line, but there is a collector's edition available exclusively at Pixel Love's website. The pre-order is open right now. This is a 2D side-scrolling action game where you are an overworked employee at Death Inc. So in that regard, the theme kind of reminds me of Grim Fandango somewhat, but this is a roguelike. Thankfully no deck building as far as I can see, and it's a highly regarded game. I really like the art style. And our executive producers, they are excited too. Dane Wilkinson, Offphone, Totally Grateful and Instacritic have chosen this as their pick of the week. Annapurna Interactive Collection is up for pre-order right now at I Am 8-Bit. And boy, is this an experiment in taking the piss. Here you get 12 games from Annapurna Interactive on one cartridge, which sounds great until you remember Annapurna Interactive and I Am 8-Bit are both companies that, shall we say, think very highly of their own worth a bit too much. You can tell they're not British. $200 for one cartridge. These are the kind of people who would fart in a jar, seal it, and sell it for $80 saying it's inspirational. The grift is real, ladies and gentlemen. 8 of these already have individual physical releases. 4 of them are exclusive to this physical release. Do you remember when value packs were a thing? Remember when publishers towed the line of profit to piss-taking pretty well? And the shipping for this thing, it's so embarrassing. If you enjoy artistic farts and wasting money, this is the collection for you. Alright, we're heading into the imports. We're heading into Play Asia territory. Yeah, if you want to import any of the games shown here, then please consider using our Play Asia links. That's the number one way to support us, and thank you ever so kindly. Plus, in return, we can support you a little bit too. You can get 5% off with our code SWTV23. Yes, you can get 5% off if you click our link first. This week we have 2 imports that you may want to take a look at. Genso SkyDrift is releasing this week in Japan. This is kind of a kart racing game but set in the Toho world, so it's better than Mario Kart. Well, maybe not, but I am kind of excited by it. I've been waiting for a physical of this for ages now, and even though Play Asia doesn't state anything about languages, it should have English according to the Japanese eShop, so it's all mine. The Fox Awaits Me HANA is the sequel to The Fox Awaits Me, which was one of the very first traditional visual novels that I'd actually played. I liked it enough, but was maybe overly positive about it due to it being my first time. This is going to be one for the furry fans out there. This sequel, just like the original, does have English, and there is a collector's edition alongside the standard edition. And also in Japan they have the Mugen Souls double pack, which does not have English, and Model Debut 3, but it doesn't have English either. Okay, the community spotlight. What do we have? Mickey McFlynn sent in this photo showing off 2 games. Days of Doom kind of flew under the radar. I mean, I did talk about it, but I wasn't 100% sure if it would release, but it did. And I have to say, Atari are being very prolific these days. Strange Storylines sent in this picture of one damn fine pickle. I would gobble that up in a second. They also got in one of the Sword Art Online games, which may feature in a video I'm currently working on. As soon as my voice starts coming back, yeah, my voice is buggered. Remy X sent in this photo showing off Pikmin 1 and 2, which may also feature in a different video I'm working on. I wonder if anyone can guess. Probably not, because you need to be psychic or just badass at the lottery. Lady B sent in this photo showing off these games, some fabulous ones in here. The Knights of the Old Republic games, it turns out, are going to get a retail release, but as a code in a box or download required nonsense in like a Star Wars bundle, so not proper physical. Needless Dragon sent in this photo with some excellent RPGs. I Am Setsuna was one of the very first import exclusive games, as it was a Japanese launch title, pretty decent. Executive producer Instacritic sent in this photo with a couple of Redout Games releases that have just started to be sent out. I think Cat Maze looks really interesting. It's one of theirs that has really caught my eye the most, like in recent times at least. Our man in Japan executive producer Vei sent in this photo, including a few obscure recent import exclusives. Get Me Out Please, Passepartout 2, and Airport Hero. Looking good. I am very jealous. Diesel JT sent in this photo with a couple of recent visual novel games, Inescapable and Archetype Arcadia. Some of the few physical VNs these days that are not an otome, which, they're fine, but a bit of normal style wouldn't go amiss for non-otome fans like myself. Executive producer Feig sent in this photo with some great games with Nobunaga's Ambition. Looks like they did print a few more copies than Three Kingdoms. I think Koei of Asia did learn a bit of a lesson. Or, maybe they watch these videos. Stranger things have happened. Reprint Three Kingdoms, come on. Elissa sent in a double helping of NIS America RPGs. I haven't played either of these, but I do believe Crystar is the more highly thought of, although, Crymachina did only just come out, so, yeah. Executive producer God of Resin sent in this photo. Thank you for the support with VGP. Fairy Tail used to be one of the rarest, most expensive North American releases, but thanks to VGP, you can get it readily available, brand new right now. Go check it out. It's a JRPG. Crobat Lover has seemingly evolved since last time. A couple of classic platforming icons repping it up, plus Horihue, which is going to feature in another video I'm working on, but this one's for a bit more Jordan, so stay tuned for that if you like shooters. Yum Yum Game sent in this photo, including Atelier Marie Remake, which is going to feature in another video I'm working on. Yes, I'm just waiting for my voice to go back to normal so I can start making these videos properly. I'm working myself to the bone this holiday, and you're going to love every second of it. Well, maybe. If you enjoy physical education, by which I mean about physical Switch games, not track and field. Executive producer Offone showed off the classic Mario. A lot of people picking this up. I've been tempted myself, but I think I might get it for my daughter for Christmas. You know, I'll show her some videos and see what she thinks of it, and then, you know, I can basically steal her Christmas present for myself. Ho ho ho. Executive producer Alex M sent in this photo showing off Curved Space. Bit of a weird one. It was super cheap, like one of the cheapest physical games I've ever seen, and it's a pretty decent twin stick shooter. Executive producer Precision Plague sent in this picture showing off 2 separate Coffee Talk games. Remember, Play Asia already has a double pack, and Europe is getting a double pack too next week. I don't know why these North American ones weren't a double pack, but whatever. Executive producer Cartoon Soren showed off the Cotton Saturn Collector's Edition from Strictly Limited Games. They do, honestly, they do good stuff, but Christ, it takes an embarrassingly long time. They need to make these in advance. Alright, let's have a roundup. Manji, Kresalak, Stephen S, Andrew R, Robin H, Shane L, Luna Dragon, Radio to Rancid, McLaren, Starvey, Sojan, Max1216, Stay in the Grave, Rick M, Rorn, Gemini, Gundam Wing Zero, R Luna. Whew, and that's everyone. A big week for those community spotlights. Shame my voice, oh my god. But yeah, if you want to send me a picture, send me a picture on Twitter at SoWhatAboutGame. You can DM me there, or you can use our email address, switchwatchspotlight@gmail.com, and our Discord, the server link is below. Only send me 1 picture per week, and please make sure it's something to do with the Nintendo Switch. If you start showing me like NES games or your underwear or something like that, yeah, I'm not interested, at least not for this video. Alright, if you watched all the way through, please leave me a star emoji in honor of Star Ocean, releasing this week. I'm very excited about that. Plus, special thanks as always to our executive producers, Dane Wilkinson, God of Resin, Boombox, Brent McLean, Santa Tartaruga, Alexander Cato, JCrod7776, Punky Dooster, Cartoon Soren, Robotech Z, Raven Knight, Thorn Metal Luna, Parsnip Coffee, Issa, Vey, Mental Traveler, Uphone, Jennifer M, Instacritic, Precision Play, Katacha, Totally Grateful, Alex M, and Feig.